Hey guys, the name is Ikrit, and welcome back to another edition of Bad Ramblings, the series where I ramble on badly. Now, short story, I'm sick. Long story, I'm gonna be sick for a while. Anyways, let's continue on with the main topic of this video, which is Sunstone. Now, a backstory on this comic graphic novel thing. Amazon recommended me this because I think at the time I was looking way too many into lesbian stuff, and they're like, I think you would like Sunstone, or at least that's what my memory is telling me. I don't know, I could be spouting a bunch of lies right now and I wouldn't even know. I'm assuming that Amazon recommended me this, and I said, you know what? Lesbians and bondage, I like both of them, so I'm going to give this graphic novel a go. This comic, whatever one. I don't know, I read manga, so I don't understand the difference between a graphic novel and a comic. Anyways, I had volume 1 to 4 for a while, and volume 5 was supposed to come to me around May, but because of Amazon's incompetence and stupidity in general, and my incompetence and stupidity, I did not get the 5th volume until September. Now I have it, and I finally read it, and I can finally give you my opinion on Sunstone. But before I even say anything, I got set up a lot of pillows for me to fall on. I normally don't read graphic novels, I don't read comics, it's not my thing. I'm much more of a manga kind of person, so what I'm about to say might not blow your mind if you're a person who reads comics a lot, but for me, it's something that, you know, it's within new territory, and like seriously, if you look at my bookshelf, these are the only comics that I have. Yuri, on the other hand, I have a lot of those. Anyways, what is Sunstone about? Well, Sunstone is about a couple of lesbians who are into bondage. The first being Lisa, who is, she calls herself a porn writer. I've never actually heard anybody going around saying that they're porn writers, you know, they write porn. I usually see if people write a lot of sex scenes, they would be like, I write eroticas, you know, when you search up eroticas, you'll find things like women having sex with dinosaurs, you know, that kind of I don't think those are kind of eroticas normal people would be looking for, but you know, you catch my drift. Again, Lisa says that she's a porn writer, and she's a very popular writer on this BDSM website. Allison, or Allie, on the other hand, is a fan of Lisa's writing, and the two kind of just hit it off online. And on this one fateful night, Lisa says that they should meet up with each other. The both of them agree to meet up, and then a lot of lesbian bondage play. Now, without any more stalling, let me get into what I like about this comic. I had to slow down for a second there because I was about to say manga. The first and second most obvious thing would be the art and the coloring. Each page is very nicely colored, and I feel very weird saying that, but again, I come from a background of just reading manga, which don't really have any colors in it. It's just a lot of shadings in general, and even seeing colors in manga is a little bit weird to me sometimes. So, you know, having every page fully colored is a change of scenery. And because it's nicely drawn, the bondage scenes are very much eye candies, it's very much fan service. Number 3 on the list, which is also pretty obvious, would be the characters of this comic, and because for some reason I'm having difficulty explaining it, I'm just going to write it down below where I feel much safer. Or I feel much more intelligent, I don't know, whichever one, I don't really care. And the fourth thing for Sunstone is how it's very, in a way, beginner-friendly to the people who don't really know much about BDSM, and even to the people who may have a little bit of a negative reaction to bondage. It's very open-minded towards those people because it tries to educate, to explain to you, saying that, you know, it's not always about those hardcore shit that you would see on Pornhub or something. Actually, there's a quote that Lisa says during her narration, which is, "Sexual nerds, that is what BDSM people are, behind all the pretense." And that's That's honestly a really nice quote to help explain to people what in general BDSM is, and I'm not really within the area to explain what BDSM is because honestly, I am somewhat open-minded to it, but I'm not as interested enough to actually go and study it and to go and be in the actual involvement. And if you really wanted to know, the only other story I've ever read that involves BDSM is Nana Takaro. And to the people who have followed that manga through the end, I am fucking mad there is absolutely no romance that happened in Nana Takaro. Such fucking bullshit. But let me not get any further into that. The other thing is that I do like the beginning of the first volume of Sunstone, where Lisa already made an establishment that she is married to Allison. And, you know, some people might not like that, but I also don't really like it when they do that kind of beginning, kind of like the whole How I Met Your Mother kind of thing, where like, oh, I've married this girl, but let me tell you the story of how I met her, or who the girl is, and you have to like, ooh, I wonder which girl it is that he's going through. I don't really like that, but I do like beginnings where they already tell you that, yeah, we're together, but let me tell you a story, let me tell you the beginning of the story, our troubles and everything. And for me personally, it kind of just reassures me that yes, throughout all of the gray areas, there will be, sunshines and rainbows. That's a terrible metaphor, but you know what? Whatever. So again, I do like those kind of beginnings for romance stories, as long as it isn't too cheesy and too sappy. Now that I'm done with all the good parts, which actually throws me off a little bit because I usually say the things I don't like about it first, and then I tell you what I like about it. But anyways, I do have a couple of qualms about this, and the first thing being the narration of Lisa. This is mainly a nitpick for me, but since in the beginning Lisa is saying that she's writing a story, and we should be assuming that throughout the entire thing, this would be how her novel would be writing, or at least that's what I'm assuming when it goes into the yellow boxes and it goes in through her narration as her older self. Now, the way that it's written, the way she's written it, would be acceptable for a graphic novel, for a comic, but when you're looking at it in like novel territory where there's no pictures and it's just words, I wouldn't really want to read a book like that because it just makes me feel like I'm reading a story from some girl on Wattpad writing her fucking edgy young adult book. Young adult book, I mean teen book. Young adult is just like a step up above teen books, which is actually not that much. And the second thing is actually also another nitpick, but to the people who have seen my Is My Hobby Weird video, you should know that I do not like third-party threats. So painstakingly, when Volume 4 came out, I didn't really like it as much, and at that point I was like, I don't really know if I wanted to buy Volume 5, but the ending of Volume 4 does say that it gets better, so I'm like, I might as well buy Volume 5 so I get to know what happens towards the end. But again, I don't like third-party threats, but I understand the use of them, and I definitely understand here in Sunstone, because in a way, Allison and Lisa were comfortable in their relationship, or at least Allison didn't have the fucking guts to go out and say that she loves Lisa, and Lisa is just kind of just flowing on, so they had to bring in, what the fuck was her name, that blonde girl, I can't remember her name, I'm terrible with names. But anyways, they had to bring her in to disrupt the relationship, and as sociology would say, the balance between two people going into a three-person group is very disruptive. Needless to say, Volume 4 was my least favorite, even though I understand why it's there, because it's leading to the conclusion that is Volume 5, but you know what, whatever, I don't really, still doesn't make me like Volume 4, but again, I do like Volume 2 and 3, which brings in problems, but it's not something that disrupted their relationship because they were still 2 and 2 instead of 2 and 3. Shit! Anyways, that's about it. If I'm missing anything else, I will write them in the description down below, so be sure to check it out. Thank you guys for watching this. Please remember to leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe if you like my stuff and you want to see more of it, or I don't know if I'm gonna be buying more lesbian graphic novels, but I do talk a lot about Yuri mangas, and I try to keep up with the hip and the cool things that kids do. I don't know. I'm fucking 20, so apparently that means I'm old. Anyways, I'm still trying to do the whole Discord thing, so if you guys want to join my Discord, also known as my Moogie Discord, where I have a whole bunch of Moogie memes, because why the fuck not? If you guys want to join that, please tell me in the comments. I'm still trying to get like 5 people. I got like 3 right now, but you know, I'm just internally crying right now. Knowing that I'm trying to set up a Discord server and I feel like I'm completely failing at it. But you know what? My internal sadness is supposed to be internal, so y'all ain't supposed to be hearing that. And also, please do not beat me up for just saying y'all right there. I am not from Texas. I am a California in SoCal. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.